you guys know, I've been talking about these kind of cases for a minute. And what I'm basically referring to is in the last year, right, since we've dealt with this new COVID pandemic economy, one of the things that we've seen there have been programs, there have been grants, there have been all kinds of different kinds of projects designed to help people. Some are listed on the basis of race, some on gender, and an interesting amount of them targeted to Black women directly, but very few to none targeted at Black males. This particular article stems from foxat5atlanta.com, and it's entitled Google to Provide 100,000 Black Women with Career Digital Skills Training. Right? Now, I've argued for the longest that these types of acts, alongside many others that have been around with us for decades, basically separate the quality of life between Black men and women in such a way that I argue that they help create a buffer class with Black women that leaves Black males in precarious positions. But since the pandemic, we're going to talk tonight, obviously, about the new BLS data and look at where things kind of are. But over time, I argue that this is going to have a dramatic impact on the differences between Black men and women and the lack of support for Black males and how it impacts the family, right? But according to this, Google is aiming to help the employment crisis women of color continue to face during the pandemic. Now, look, I'm going to cover some of the data about how many women have lost jobs, but I want you to keep this in mind as we do, right? We've been saying this for years. And so we know that in terms of Black men in over 35 major cities, unemployment has been up to 40 and 50% before the pandemic. So as these articles talk about how many women have lost jobs, we do not yet know the impact of the pandemic on men who are 40 to 50% unemployed before the pandemic hit. I still haven't seen any programs targeted at those very men. Nevertheless, the tech giant Google on Friday announced an initiative to provide 100,000 Black women with career development and digital skills training by spring 2022. During COVID-19 pandemic, women have accounted for 56% of people leaving the workforce, with Black women significantly impacted, losing 154,000 jobs in the month of December 2020 alone, according to the data by McKinsey and Company. Google noted. Grow with Google, Black women lead aims to close the economic opportunity gap, with Google citing data that 80% of middle-skilled jobs in the U.S. require digital proficiency. The company is teaming up with 6 groups led by Black women, including Dress for Success, which provides a network of professional support and career services like mentorship and interview training for women. The Links Inc., a nonprofit volunteer service, and 4 sororities of the National Panhellenic Council, an organization composed of historically African-American collegiate sororities and fraternities. Workshops featured will include interview training, resume building, analytics-based decision-making, online marketing, and more. The initiative is part of a $15 million commitment Google announced in June to help Black job seekers grow their digital skills. The pandemic has resulted in unemployment for millions of Americans, and its impacts are further revealing the economic opportunity gaps that still exist for Black women, according to Melanie Parker, Chief Diversity Officer at Google. I'm grateful to the leaders of these organizations who are united for the first time with the shared goal of upskilling 100,000 Black women with digital skills. Their legacy, expertise, and credibility will help ensure we accomplish this mission. Overall, women have lost 5.4 million jobs during the 10 months of the pandemic, according to data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. All right. So this is what we're looking at. What is the long-term impact of this? This is something I've been saying even when they were just talking about giving stimulus checks to small mom and pop businesses. And we had men call into and write into the comments in this very show talking about the only way they were able to even get support is to actually have a woman front their organization or their business, a business they themselves run, but had to have a female face in order to find any type of support. This is a problem. This is a problem. And I think it'll have long-term impact the more we tend to not look at it. Now, believe it or not, when I posted this on Facebook and in other spaces, I tend to find that you have men and women celebrating this. And I'm not telling you not to celebrate it, but what I am telling you is look at the impact this bifurcated support system provides one group and not another, right?